And so we see the players begin to take their positions on the field. It's a blank slate, a whole new tournament. The United States and the Haudenosaunee in the semifinals with a bid to the gold medal game on the line. We told you about Paige Crandall out of Lemoyne College, 2024 graduate. Her counterpart in cage will be Shea Dolce, another one of these Boston College Golden Eagles. She was the 2025 IWLCA Goaltender of the Year in her NCAA career so far, 54-9 record. A perfect 3-0 so far. On the draw for the USA, it'll be Sam Apuzzo. And for Haudenosaunee, it is Paisley Cook. She was the catalyst to start things off in the win over Jamaica yesterday for Haudenosaunee. 2 quick draw control wins resulted in a 2-0 lead in the opening minute of that contest, a lead that the Haudenosaunee would never relinquish. We'll see the opening draw here. Semifinal play is underway. Paisley Cook does win it out to her counterpart. This is Chloe Luther. Luther has that disrupted in Allie Kennedy, already a ground ball and caused turnover. She was a force in the USA win yesterday over Mexico. Kennedy will push the pace right away. Here's Sam Apuzzo. 6 goals and 6 assists so far. For the first time, Emma Muchnick today. And now the USA working it around the horn. Here is Apuzzo trying to test top side. But nothing there, so they'll work the perimeter with Charlotte North for the first time today. Now here's Muchnick. She will draw shooting space, and we will have our first free position attempt of the contest. From the right hash, this is Emma Muchnick. Syracuse class of 2026. Will she shoot from the 11-meter? Yes, a low to high rip, and Emma Muchnick has the USA on the board 1 minute in. It is 1-0 the United States. And so we see the USA do what they've done so far in this tournament, which is work the perimeter and wait for the drive, and that's what Emma Muchnick did, drew the shooting space call, and now has her 6th goal of the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship in the early goings. Muchnick in this past 2025 season recorded 34 goals and 7 assists for Syracuse. And now have the USA up 1-0 early. So again, we see Sam Apuzzo going out for the draw for the United States. She'll work again against Paisley Cook, who may be the best midfielder in this Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship, especially on the draw control. And the ball still loose. It is indeed Paisley Cook that comes up with it. A bright young talent here for Haudenosaunee. She's a UAlbany class of 2027. Already 6 goals in this tournament so far as well. She'll get the restart here. Cook pressured on the outside. That's Cassidy Weeks for the United States. And our first look at this Haudenosaunee offense today. This is Chloe Luther. Luther in her right hand. She is pushed away. And now Jalen Jimerson forced to restart behind the cage. Outside pressure by this United States team. They are not afraid to make you work. That's Allie Kennedy. Double pressure coming up here, and Haudenosaunee going with a feed inside shot. They score! The United States get aggressive, and Haudenosaunee make them pay. It looks like Paisley Cook with the finish in tight. And so Haudenosaunee with the answer. It is 1-1 here 3 minutes in. Well, you see the USA get aggressive here with Allie Kennedy and Emma Muchnick pushing out. Excellent poise by Sierra Cockrell. And she finds the lone Haudenosaunee attacker. It is Paisley Cook, able to ward off Shea Dolce, and we are knotted up at 1. So Haudenosaunee, a very clean game so far, and they're able to withstand this outside pressure by the USA. 1-1 in this semifinal contest. We head back to the draw where the Haudenosaunee have won both so far. This time Sam Apuzzo wins it to herself. She'll double back and wait for reinforcements. And this is an errant pass that will force the USA to slingshot from their own zone. Picking up the loose pearl is Katie Goodale. Goodale out of Syracuse, class of 24, playing against Some of her former teammates here today. Americans quickly move it back into transition, and we'll see the restart with Rachel Clark. We have a whistle away from the ball, and we'll see where the officials want to restart this one. This is Corey Edmondson that's going to get the free position attempt from the center hash. Already 2 goals here in this Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. She has a chance to reclaim the 1-goal lead for the USA. Edmondson driving in. Shot, she scores, and the USA answer the bell. It's 2-1 United States. A pair of free position goals are the difference here. And so similar to yesterday's game, for both teams, we have high-pace action in the opening 5 minutes. The United States beneficiaries of a couple of calls their way lead to advantageous free position attempts from the 11-meter, and Edmondson doesn't miss there. It's her 3rd goal of this Continental Championship. First-team All-American this past season at Maryland. And we get a new look in the draw circle. It'll still be Paisley Cook for Haudenosaunee, but for the United States, this is Ali Mastriani. The 2022 Midfielder of the Year. North Carolina Tar Heel. Among the very best, 360 career draw controls. And we've got a conference in the midfield here. It looks like they're going to award this possession to Mastriani. They're going to reset the clock and change it up to 9:36. And restart the draw, it looks like. So we'll now see for the first time today, it's Sierra Cockrell. Picked up the assist on the lone Haudenosaunee goal. Again, she'll work against Mastriani. Cockrell, Syracuse, class of 23. She's unable to get this one from the United States, Ali Mastriani. Remember that gold medal winning team in 2022? Testing the waters behind the cage is Charlotte North. North up for Edmondson, and now working around the horn, it's Mastriani. Anna Brandt with it. She'll move laterally before giving it up, and Edmondson unable to corral this pass, and it will just stay within the bounds of the playing field. North, rather Sam Apuzzo behind the cage. Apuzzo, 5 feet in front. That is denied. A save made by Paige Crandall. She rejects Charlotte North, and the Haudenosaunee come up with it. Now moving in transition, this is Allison Trice. We hear a couple of whistles, and they'll restart. So the first save of the game comes from Paige Crandall, and she rejects Charlotte North. North, a 2-time Tewaaraton winner, now in the professional leagues. Haudenosaunee able to work this across. Avery Duran has it. Duran will be guarded closely by Katie Goodale. And now here's Jimerson. Jalen Jimerson. Played at both Syracuse and Clemson in her time as a collegiate athlete. She's doubled up and sees that one go away, although the officials say this was checked illegally. Again, you see that double pressure from Katie Goodale and Corey Edmondson. Edmondson now forced to start from behind. That's a nice jab step. Duran has a lane. A shot. She scores! Avery Duran, her 6th goal of the Continental Championship, knots this up at 2. What a move from Avery Duran to split the defense. And Haudenosaunee have tied it up. And watch this play. One little quick split dodge, and that's good enough. And in her left hand, she picks the corner, able to beat Shea Dolce. And the Haudenosaunee have knotted this up at 2. Again, we see Paige Crandall playing a big part. She made the save on Charlotte North. And Haudenosaunee able to capitalize with a goal on the other side. It will be North coming in to take the draw. She'll work against Sierra Cockrell. It's another illegal draw, and instead of awarding possession, it looks like they'll redo it. We thank you again for joining us on World Lacrosse TV. Schedule moved around just a little bit due to impending rain. After all 3 days of pool play, the fields were drenched in pouring monsoons, but the team's here to play now in 10 a.m. local time here in Auburndale, Florida. We thank you for joining us from around the world for this semifinal matchup, which is off to a hot start. Teams knotted up at 2, and Haudenosaunee looking to take their first lead of the game. This is Sierra Cockrell. Cockrell with a nice dodge. She's got a step. Now passing to the perimeter. It's Lois Garlow for the first time today. Jordan Kalan has it. She's testing the waters and will now take this one for a spin. Kalan looking for the feed, but there's nothing there. Guarded tightly by Emma Muchnick. Kalan has an angle on top side. Kalan, feed on the backdoor shot, rejected by Dolce. Avery Duran cranked that one on the goal circle, but Dolce stands tall, and the USA go the other way. In transition, fast break. Shot coming here. Save made here. Paige Crandall slams the door on Rachel Clark. Ball still loose, and now the ground ball picked up. And it's Fawn Porter. So Porter brings it ahead. The pass errant. Ball still loose, and now coming up with it is Cassidy Weeks. The United States will slow things down just a bit as Rachel Clark collects it. And now the USA going to work behind the cage with Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo, a Tewaaraton winner herself back in 2018. And the USA now will work it in rotation. Here's Charlotte North. North, split, dodge, backdoor, score! Charlotte North finding on the doorstep Rachel Clark. And these two Boston College Golden Eagles connect. The USA once again reclaim the 1-goal lead. Well, you see Charlotte North calling her shot there. A simple dodge here. Feed on the back door. Perfectly timed cut. And Rachel Clark has her 6th goal of this Continental Championship. Clark just wrapped up her career at Boston College. She named the Freshman of the Year back in 2022. In her time at the University of Virginia. Now here playing for her head coach, Acacia Walker-Weinstein. She converts there, and again, the USA have this 1-goal lead. And there's again something to sort out here with 4:05 to go. Haudenosaunee was offsides. They had 5 players in the offensive zone and 2 on the other side. So it'll be USA awarded possession here. A miscue operation-wise for Haudenosaunee, and now the USA looking to make them pay. Here's Charlotte North. She works it around quickly to Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo, feed inside, shot denied again by Crandall. And so the USA have been rejected on the crease now 3 times in the early goings. North works it around to Corey Edmondson. Edmondson moving laterally, driving in her right. She'll draw shooting space, and this one rejected again. The netminder Paige Crandall off to a fantastic start for the Haudenosaunee, and it's still just a 1-goal deficit that the Haudenosaunee can eliminate right now. Jalen Jimerson with it, looking for her first tally of this semifinal. Sam Apuzzo takes it away, pass across, shot coming here. Clark, she goes turned aside. So Paige Crandall standing on her head in this first quarter. It's still just a 3-2 game. Allison Trice now trying to provide some reinforcements for her terrific netminder. Avery Duran looking for another tally. She's got wheels. Duran will double back on the outside fan. She's hounded by a pair of white-shirted USA Americans. Now driving straight to cage. Shot here. That's denied by Shea Dolce. So both goalies showing off here. Haudenosaunee able to gather the rebound, and they will restart with just over 2.5 to play here in this opening frame. This is Allie Jimerson with it. Working against the United States, Katie Goodale. Sierra Cockrell, an errant pass, and the USA will take over in their own zone. On the quick restart, the officials deemed too quick of a restart, so heading back is Anna Brandt. midfielder of the year in 2025 in her time at UPenn. She works this lacrosse easily. Cassidy Weeks now with it, and the USA go to work on their rotation. Charlotte North for Rachel Clark. And now all the way at the perimeter for Emma Muchnick, and the USA getting set here. Cassidy Weeks plays it behind the cage. That's Sam Apuzzo. No feed for her, so she gives it back to Weeks on the right side. She'll start the dodge in her left. Now doubles back to her right. Pass coming here. Muchnick has it, draws shooting space, and it looks like she'll head to the free position. Her and Charlotte North high five as they know this is an advantageous position for Muchnick. Emma Muchnick from the center hash. A good look at her setup here. Muchnick, shot, score! Another sidearm rip upstairs. This time able to beat the netminder Crandall, and the United States have their first 2-goal lead of the contest. We've seen this so far from the Americans. This is their third free position goal. And impossible to stop with an excellent lead there. Emma Muchnick able to convert, and the USA up 4-2 in the first quarter. Folks, to remind you for the international rules, it's a running clock even when goals are scored, except for the final 30 seconds of each quarter and the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So with time winding down here, the clock will stop at 30. And the teams will restart. It's Charlotte North on the draw. Again, she'll work against Paisley Cook, who is making her return to the draw circle after an abbreviated absence. Haudenosaunee looking to try to cut this deficit back down to 1 before this quarter's end. Sierra Cockrell is on this outside ring alongside Cassidy Weeks. Here's the draw. Worked up, and it's still loose. Clock will run now. So 27 seconds to operate for Sierra Cockrell, who spins out of trouble, at least for the time being. She'll stay doubled, now tripled up. And the USA, again, with this tough ride. It'll stay with Haudenosaunee, and so with the head of steam is Avery Duran. Duran on her left, fakes. Tries to dodge in, now passes across. Quick ball movement, just goes wide. Couldn't get that to go for Mia Mitchell. And that's the way that this first quarter will come to an end. There's 2.4 seconds left on the official scoreboard here. The clock now running. One final look. The ball will fall harmlessly. And so that is the way this first quarter will end for real this time. What an exciting 15 minutes of lacrosse here at the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. A spot in the gold medal game on the line, and both teams are playing like they mean it. USA 4, Haudenosaunee 2. The Americans with their first 2-goal lead of the game on the free position goal by Emma Muchnick. Folks, we're going to step aside when we come back. The second quarter of play here from our first semifinal in Auburndale, Florida. Thanks for joining us so far on World Lacrosse TV. Folks, welcome back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. I'm John Kristovich saying thanks for joining us so far on World Lacrosse TV. As we near the start of the second quarter, we take a look at some of the first quarter highlights. Haudenosaunee. This was the game-tying goal in the early goings. Sierra Cockrell warding off a pair of USA defenders and finishing on the doorstep was Paisley Cook for her 7th goal of this Continental Championship. USA would answer, and later on it was Avery Duran that made a nice play to even the score. Rachel Clark's bid to reclaim the USA lead started with Charlotte North on the doorstep. North with her quick dodge and Clark with the quick finish to give the USA the lead once more. And so that's where we stand here after Emma Muchnick's second free position goal of the game. The USA lead at 4-2 headed into the second frame. A spot in the gold medal game on the line. So a clean slate here. The USA lead at 4-2. We remind you again, there's more lacrosse going on our sister stream. Mexico and Jamaica are currently knotted up at 2. Those teams vying for a spot in the 5th place game, a critical game, as the top 5 teams in this 8-team field are going to the World Championships next summer in Tokyo. These 2 teams have already qualified now. They're vying for the Continental Championship, the first time the USA has ever competed in the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship here on the fields level. Haudenosaunee won the Sixes Cup back in 2023 in this field, an event that World Lacrosse excited to bring back to Puerto Rico later this year. For now, though, Haudenosaunee will set up the offense and look to answer as they did in the first quarter. Driving in is Cockrell. She runs into a pair of USA defenders, and now taking it herself is Shea Dolce. Dolce will be doubled up herself and now finds reinforcements in the form of Katie Goodall. And so now the USA. Working quickly in transition is Emma Muchnick. She'll turn on the burners. Muchnick shot. That one goes just wide. Had her eyes on a hat trick. Instead, it'll be Charlotte North that picks up the ball on the end line, and another quick restart, a hallmark of this USA offense. Cassidy Weeks, Muchnick, and the rest of the gang will work it around the perimeter. This is Sam Apuzzo. We'll play a little two-man game there with Rachel Clark. Apuzzo now dodging inner left. Shot in. Backdoor Charlotte North had that one go in and out of her stick. A whistle regardless. And so this will be another free position attempt. USA have converted on their first 3 shots from this angle. From the 11-meter, it's Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo winds, fires, scores! Sam Apuzzo and the USA lead it by 3. Sam Apuzzo with a brilliant step-down shot here. Had everything on that. And picked the corner, able to beat the netminder, Paige Crandall. We get another look at it here. Everybody knew she was shooting. But look at the speed on this one. One quick grapevine and then rips that one home. And so the USA now with their largest lead of the game in the early goings of the second quarter, it's 5-2. And so now Haudenosaunee face their largest deficit of the game, and they will once again send out Sierra Cockrell, who has played some big minutes all over the field in the early goings. Ali Mastriani will re-enter the center circle. For the USA, Marie McCool is on the opposite draw side. And she's got possession here. But she's forced to give it up as Haudenosaunee will earn this possession. So now a chance for the Haudenosaunee Nationals to come back into this one. They'll start again with Cockrell. She has led the attack in the early goings. Has an assist on the first goal of the game. Now on this outside pressure, Haudenosaunee has beat it for the time being. Spinning around is Avery Duran. She is quick. Duran, though, pressured hard by Sammy White. Duran, feed outside. And now having to restart is Lois Garlow. Jalen Jimerson. Haudenosaunee answering this strong U.S. defense. Chloe Luther. They'll stop the clock here as it appears that everybody's got something to sort out. Allie Jimerson, Syracuse class of 2018, having a conversation with the lead official. But it'll be a free position attempt from that outside angle. This is Chloe Luther. Luther driving in. She'll shoot and scores! Chloe Luther. And the Haudenosaunee trim the deficit. It's 5-3. Chloe Luther's third goal brings Haudenosaunee back within 2. Well, first we saw the shot from Sam Apuzzo for the USA. That was a rip. And then on the other end, Haudenosaunee answering. We've got another free position goal. And this one, a similar nature from that tight angle. It's the Jacksonville Dolphin, the class of 2028, beating the netminder Shea Dolce. Another quick restart here. And, oh boy, how about this battle for the loose ground ball? Coming up with it for the first time today, we see Marie McCool. McCool with wheels. She'll go straight to cage. Pass. Fake the shot. Doorstep. They'll call shooting space. Charlotte North will head to the free position. So this has been a unique aspect of this game. We have not seen this many free position attempts. Charlotte North already has this one winded. Fires and scores. Ripping one home low to low. Charlotte North back on the board. And the USA back up by 3. So quick on these restarts. This is part of the USA game, and they show it off here. You barely have a chance to catch your breath, and Charlotte North already has this winded, and there's nobody that's going to stop this. Paige Crandall unable to get in front of that one. North scores, and now the USA lead by 3 once more. So fast-paced action here. Still in the early goings of this second quarter, we'll see Charlotte North enter the draw circle. She's flanked by Cassidy Weeks on the other side and Allie Kennedy. For Haudenosaunee, Sierra Cockrell is in there. She's got Jordan Kalan. It'll be a battle between Weeks and Kalan, and now coming up with it is Sierra Cockrell. So Cockrell earns the possession. The Haudenosaunee, as expected, are really making this a game in the draw circle. Not letting the USA come out with too big of a lead. Well, folks, with 9 minutes to go, we're going to have a timeout. Haudenosaunee calls it. The USA lead it 6-3 when we come back. Haudenosaunee with the offensive possession try to trim this deficit once more. We're back after this on World Lacrosse TV. Folks, welcome back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship on World Lacrosse TV. John Kristovich with you for this semifinal matchup between Haudenosaunee and the United States. Charlotte North back in action today. You see her signature sidearm rip. That puts the U.S. back up 6-3. 5 unique goal scorers for the United States. Emma Muchnick, the Syracuse senior, has a pair. And for Haudenosaunee, 3 unique goal scorers for their own right. Chloe Luther, Avery Duran, and Paisley Cook have dented the twine. As we told you heading into the break, it'll be the Haudenosaunee who have an offensive possession coming up here, fresh out of the timeout, called by head coach Taylor Frink. She's joined by assistant coaches Elizabeth Bevel, Leah Gallagher, and Brittany Dipper. As we see Avery Duran trying to navigate this double pressure by the USA. Duran scored earlier in this situation. Now she's able to pass it off, and Haudenosaunee with some green grass. This is Lois Garlow. She'll have to bring it back out, and now Jordan Kalan. Kalan for Jalen Jimerson. And now back up to the point for Talis Tarbell. First time we see her today. Tarbell driving in her left. Feet on the doorstep, no angle. Give and go. Shot denied by Dolce. Climbing the ladder, but unable to get a lot on that one, was Allie Jimerson. And the officials have more to sort out here. This is the 3rd or 4th time that they have stopped the clock to have a conversation. And the pass was high for Allie Jimerson. They're probably asking if this was a foul. 8:26 on the clock. The U.S. lead at 6-3. This is a long conversation. And we'll see what the officials rule. Both head coaches are going to get briefed here. And a yellow card comes out. Wow, yes, I expected with that lengthy of a delay, there might be some business here. So heading off is the United States' Katie Goodale. And Haudenosaunee for the next 2 minutes will have a player advantage. This is a critical juncture, and it'll start with a free position attempt. So Talis Tarbell already has 2 goals here in this Continental Championship. She pulls it out, and now going to work are the Haudenosaunee from the outside. It's Lois Garlow, Allie Jimerson, who drew that yellow card moments ago. Avery Duran and the rest of the gang will continue to work it around the horn. And now Garlow will activate. At least for the time being, back for Tarbell. Allie Kennedy with some outside pressure, even with the player disadvantage. Infraction called here, and Haudenosaunee will be due to restart from the outside fan. Critical time ticking away on this player advantage. Starting from the outside is Lois Garlow. Haudenosaunee making some personnel changes. Entering the terrain is Sierra Cockrell. Cockrell with it now. She won't pull the trigger there as the lane closed quickly. Feet in front. Behind the back, they score! Avery Duran! Nestled in that low slot area. Receives the pass and flips it behind her back. And Haudenosaunee have once again trimmed the deficit to 2. A brilliant finish by Duran for her second goal of the game. We'll get another look at the offensive possession here. Started with Sierra Cockrell on the doorstep, and a nifty little flick from Avery Duran, her 7th goal of the championships. And the Haudenosaunee are back within 2. And so the Haudenosaunee still with the player advantage for the next 20 seconds or so. With the USA making some personnel changes, you can expect that penalty to be released just about coincidentally with this draw control. And so we see back in the hash is Sierra Cockrell. The penalty will now be released as the whistle blows. So the USA back to full and even strength. As Marie McCool brings it ahead, trying to reclaim this 3-goal lead, the Haudenosaunee have kept the United States within striking distance so far in this contest. This is Sam Apuzzo. And now Corey Edmondson. The USA working around the horn. McCool, and now activating is Mastriani. Edmondson with it. Now behind the cage, Apuzzo, where she is so dangerous. Sam Apuzzo, feed in front. Charlotte North behind the back. She's rejected. Gets her own rebound, feed in front. They score! Sam Apuzzo finishes on the Charlotte North feed. What a sequence. Well, Paige Crandall made a terrific stop the first go-around. Charlotte North's behind the back bid wouldn't go, gathered her own rebound, and this time, no doubter for Sam Apuzzo. Those two putting on a clinic behind the cage. What a sequence there. Charlotte North and Sam Apuzzo, two Boston College legends. 3 Tewaratons between the two of them. Apuzzo now an assistant coach at her alma mater. Has another goal here today. So the USA again back up by 3. That's been the deficit for the majority of this game. Ali Mastriani has the ball on her cross. They're trying to deem whether she earned it legally, and they say yes, she did. And so this is Corey Edmondson that will restart from midfield. It's cooled off just a little bit here in Auburndale. I mentioned heavy rain the last couple of days, and a little bit this morning have made for a little bit more enjoyable climate to play in. Rachel Clark has it behind the net as the USA look for their first 4-goal lead of the game. Charlotte North has it on the left wing. North in her left hand. Saw that door close quickly. Still has it behind the cage for Apuzzo. Little two-man game. Charlotte North back again behind the net. She's looking. Look for the wrap. Oh, she takes a hit upstairs. That will probably be a card. Yes, and you see the Haudenosaunee, that was a clear accident, and they will help North to her feet. She'll get set for a free position. Clock stops here as the USA will have their first player advantage. And so Charlotte North already has 1 goal from the 11-meter today. And again, that 11 meters in the international level is judged from the goal line, not the crease. North has this one winded, fires off the pipe. Rebound is corralled, and coming up with it is Paige Crandall. So Crandall and the Haudenosaunee now down a player for the next minute and a half or so. Nonetheless, this is a smooth transition for the young Chloe Luther out of Jacksonville University. Luther playing against Mastriani here and able to maintain. Haudenosaunee in the business of killing the clock right now as we near the final 3 minutes of the first half here in our semifinal game. Offsides the call as the USA will restart. Again, still with the player advantage for the next 45 seconds, minute or so. And the clock's still ticking. Mastriani wants to restart and still won't be able to as they wait for Chloe Luther to change positioning. And so now the USA with just about a half minute left on this player-up opportunity. Charlotte North has it. Behind the cage, Rachel Clark and Sam Apuzzo. Apuzzo back for Clark. Clark spins outside. Nothing for her there, so she goes back to the perimeter. Charlotte North now on the right side. She'll draw a free position attempt, it looks like. Taking it will be Rachel Clark on this first inside hash from the right wing. Clark goes straight to cage. Her shot, she scores. Another free position goal. This time it's Rachel Clark, and the United States have opened up their first 4-goal lead of the game. It is 8-4 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. While the Haudenosaunee have done a nice job in manufactured offense, there's really no answer to the talent from Rachel Clark and company as she finishes on the advantageous free position attempt, her second goal of the game, with the United States back up 4. So we head back to the draw circle. Again, we remind you that the clock is running even during goals in international play, but inside of 30 seconds in the second quarter, the clock will stop on the whistle. USA took a 2-goal lead into this second quarter and have built on that by the same margin, which is why they're up by 4. Looking to add to that lead is Cassidy Weeks with just about 1 minute to go here in the first half. Weeks down the wing, feed across. Muchnick has it. Now Charlotte North. North working in close. There's no shot to cage there, so she doubles back, feed across. That one is stymied, and Haudenosaunee with one last chance. Coming up with it again is Chloe Luther, who's been all over the field for the Haudenosaunee. She's doubled up now, needs reinforcements. Able to fend off this United States ride, at least for the time being. Now Allison Trice trying to replicate the feat, and Haudenosaunee will start back from their own zone. Our first look at Cassandra Minard today. And now, fast break, Avery Duran with it. Duran, pass, across, shot, score! It is Lois Garlow. Avery Duran again showing off her wheels. And the Haudenosaunee able to beat this ride all the way back the other way. And so Haudenosaunee, with 20.8 seconds to go here in this first half, have again kept the United States within this 3-goal margin. Duran, who already has a pair of goals today, picks up the assist, while Lois Garlow notches her 5th goal of these Continental Championships. So again, 20 seconds to go. Inside of 30 seconds in the second quarter, all whistles will prompt the stoppage of the clock. Coming up with it is Sam Apuzzo. The clock here at the stadium, about 15 seconds and running. USA have time, although this is an errant pass. 10 seconds now to work with. USA, one final opportunity. Rachel Clark knows it. Apuzzo has it. She loses possession. Shot inside, just swiped at it. Wouldn't go. The rebound is in the net, but the clock says 0. It is no goal. So Haudenosaunee are able to fend off this late USA attack, and with a late goal of their own, have trimmed this deficit down to 3 at the midway point. So the Americans lead at 8-5, but Haudenosaunee are showing up here with Paige Crandall in cage. Avery Duran has been terrific, and the USA's lead now just 3 at the halfway point. Folks, give us a chance to step aside. When we come back, we'll talk some first half stats and more of what's yet to come here at the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. We're back right after this on World Lacrosse TV. Folks, welcome back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship live from Auburndale, Florida. We thank you for joining us so far throughout this exciting tournament structure. Our first half stats are on your screen now. The U.S. leading in the most important department, 8-5, but Haudenosaunee have kept this one close in part due to their draw control effort. 8-7 is the margin, but the USA, who have been used to having large leads at the half, they have been used to dominating in the draw circle. That's not the case today. Terrific work by Paisley Cook, Sierra Cockrell and company have kept Haudenosaunee in this one, especially in transition. Not to mention in goal, Paige Crandall with 6 saves, and they were all sparklers in that first half. Each team has been a player down once. Quite a few free position goals in this contest. As the USA, of their 8 goals, 5 of them have come from that 11-meter fan. Sam Apuzzo, Rachel Clark, and Emma Muchnick each have 2 goals for the United States, while Avery Duran, a pair of goals and an assist so far in this contest. So that's where we stand at the halfway point. I mentioned earlier that it's a little bit more of a cooler day, so these games are expected to go by a little bit faster. If you've been joining us for the tournament so far in pool play, you know that the real field temperature out there was over 100 degrees. Today it's a comfortable 88. So still a little bit of rain in the air, some mist, so we'll see if that has any impact on the second half. The facilities here at Lake Myrtle Sports Park have continued to be terrific at Orlando Health Stadium. The players have been loving this new field, the stadium built in 2023 in Auburndale, Florida, and it has been a pleasure to broadcast live from you here for this Continental Championship. As we take a look at the standings of what else is going on in the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship, the United States won their Pool A with a record of 3-0 and a terrific goal differential of plus 36, the maximum possible in this international format. The Haudenosaunee, their lone loss came to Canada. They have looked much sharper here today against the powerhouse United States team, keeping them within 3. And I say that saying that the Haudenosaunee are not a force to be reckoned with. This is a team that finished 8th in the world 4 years ago, and in first place in the most recent PALA 2023 Sixes Cup. They have come to play here today against the world's 4-time defending champions in the United States. Also going on right now is a matchup in the bottom bracket between Jamaica and Mexico. Those two teams have been battling hard so far, trying to earn that final 5th spot. That's the top 5 teams of the 8 you see here will qualify for the World Championships. Haudenosaunee and the USA have already punched their ticket. Now they're battling for the gold medal of the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. The winner of this matchup will go on to face the winner of Canada and Puerto Rico, which will directly follow today's contest. We will see which 2 teams will duke it out for gold tomorrow afternoon. So with that, we're going to step aside for one final time. In just about 2 minutes, we'll have the second half of action here live from Auburndale. Once again, John Kristovich saying thanks for joining us on World Lacrosse TV. We're back with the second half of action right after this. Folks, we welcome you back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship semifinals between the United States and the Haudenosaunee. The U.S. leading at the half 8-5 as we get set for the third quarter of play. We have a goaltender change for the United States. Kaylee Waters, North Carolina class of 2017, national champion in 2016, is in the cage. She relieves Shea Dolce, who made 3 saves in that opening frame. Didn't necessarily play poorly, but head coach Acacia Walker-Weinstein looking for a change in net. On the other side, Paige Crandall was still in the cage after her 6th save effort in the first half. Marie McCool is in the draw circle this time against Sierra Cockrell, who once again wins the draw control. The team's now even with 8 draws apiece. Again, as I mentioned at the half, a critical reason why these teams are as close as they are. United States with a deafening effort there to take down Haudenosaunee, and now we move back the other way. First touch for Kaylee Waters. She was a member of that 2022 Gold Championship winning team at the Worlds. USA trying to move quick in transition. Allie Kennedy couldn't corral that, but luckily for the United States, Emma Lapinto. Emma Lapinto in the game for the first time. She enters here in the second half. She did not play in the final game of pool play against Mexico either, so we see Lapinto back in the game. We'll see if she's able to corral any more points. She already has 14 points so far in this tournament, and that's without playing a game and a half. As we see a goal now from Allie Kennedy. She drives all the way through, and the United States tack one on in the early goings of this third quarter. Allie Kennedy on the board, her 5th goal of the championships. Well, a lot to unravel here as Allie Kennedy really just took this herself and was able to beat the midfielder Sierra Cockrell, going straight to cage, and the bouncer gets past the netminder Paige Crandall. So notably, we have not seen Chloe Humphrey here today. After her great effort yesterday, she came into today at leading all players in the tournament with 15 points, 8 goals and 7 assists. With the United States looking ahead to their game tomorrow as well, they have opted to give some players some rest here and there. We see Emma Lapinto enter the game for the first time to start this second half. In the draw circle, once again, it'll be Sierra Cockrell, and she's been just tremendous to start this game. It's another draw control win. Cockrell has it right away, but closing quickly is Allie Kennedy, and she closes so fast. Cockrell, crossfield pass that is deflected. The ricochet goes all the way out, and they rule it is off of a Haudenosaunee cross. And so restarting herself is Sam Forrest. Forrest fresh off of a national championship in her time with the North Carolina Tar Heels. One more season for her coming up after these World Championships. And so we see Cassidy Weeks working around the horn once again. The United States have matched their largest lead of the game. They're up by 4. Izzy Skane entering for the first time in this half. Skane shot, that goes just wide. So Emma Lapinto will restart from down low. Our first time seeing her since the second game of pool play. This is Skane. Skane, feet inside. Trying to corral the rebound, but that was rejected by Paige Crandall, her 7th save of the game. And she really has been terrific. There's a couple of catalysts that have helped Haudenosaunee stay in this one. Crandall certainly one. Sierra Cockrell on the draw, and then Avery Duran offensively. This one nearly taken away by the United States' Shea Baker. And now the ball's still loose. We get a whistle, and it will go back to Haudenosaunee. So Shea Baker, another one of these players we haven't seen too much of in the last couple of games, but don't be fooled. She had a tremendous 2025. We'll see her probably in the draw circle later today. The ball is loose and picked up the other way. This is Kenzie Kent now entering the game for the first time in the second half. Kent brings it ahead to Cassidy Weeks. She's upended, and that'll draw a whistle, maybe a card. No card here, just a hard foul as Cassidy Weeks is back up in good shape. Ali Mastriani enters the playing field, as does Corey Edmondson. Edmondson with the quick restart. USA working around Kenzie Kent, now behind the cage for Lapinto and Ali Mastriani. Corey Edmondson, Anna Brandt and company. This is Kenzie Kent. Kent flips it up to Edmondson. Behind the cage, Lapinto. Lurking dangerously as the feed in front. Shot denied by Crandall. Another stellar save. And Haudenosaunee now working back the other way. Emma Lapinto took a hard check. No call as Haudenosaunee are able to work it into the offensive zone with the speed of Allison Trice. Trice playing at both Syracuse and the University of Pittsburgh in her time collegiately. She's pressured outside by Mastriani. Now we see Allie Jimerson. In the game for the USA is Sydney Scales, two-time national champion at Boston College. Jimerson and Chloe Luther, two of these young guns that have led the offensive attack for Haudenosaunee. Luther working to the outside. Now is Jordan Colon. Colon looking for a feed but had no lane. Mia Mitchell. Leaves it back out for Cassandra Menard. Feed in front, on the doorstep, denied. Mia Mitchell, point blank, is rejected by Kaylee Waters. And now USA working with the fast break. All the way up ahead, this is Skane. Izzy Skane has it taken away. And Haudenosaunee answering the call. They'll move quickly in transition. Jalen Jimerson has it. She hits a USA wall. And now, all the way on the opposite end of the field, we'll restart. USA and Haudenosaunee exchanging blows here, moving quickly. Mia Mitchell now will settle things down. Sierra Cockrell sets up the offense, and now Chloe Luther to activate. Luther working a pick play here with Jalen Jimerson. Now passes it to Jimerson. Skip pass for Allie Jimerson. This is an errant pass, but a foul called. Earlier I said Allie Jimerson and Chloe Luther are the young guns. Allie Jimerson and Chloe Luther separated by 10 years. Jimerson, the class of Syracuse 2018. Chloe Luther, Jacksonville University, class of 2028. So Luther certainly one of these young guns, and Jimerson a stalwart here for this Haudenosaunee team alongside her sisters. Sierra Cockrell on the outside wing. Chloe Luther, an errant pass, and oh boy, taking a hit was the United States' Shea Baker. Although they ruled that she was the guilty party in that exchange. So Haudenosaunee will restart behind the cage. This is Allie Jimerson. Behind the framework is Jalen Jimerson. Those two will familiarly pass. A skip pass now up to Chloe Luther. She works it around the horn, and this one is taken away. Ali Mastriani got a piece of it, and now the United States working it back with Izzy Skane. Skane's got wheels. She gives it up for Mastriani. Feed on the doorstep. Lapinto denied by Crandall. Another save for Paige Crandall. On the doorstep. It wouldn't go. We've got a whistle behind the play, so Chloe Luther will be forced to restart from all the way back in their own zone. Paige Crandall with another terrific save. It's a Haudenosaunee trying to beat this USA ride. They've done so for the time being, but now the errant ball picked up by Sydney Scales. Scales will work it back the other way, and Haudenosaunee have answered once again. This is Jordan Kalan. She brings it up. A little bit of a fast break opportunity, but the United States recovered quickly, and they'll restart again on the opposite end. Lois Garlow with it. They work it up to Winter Jock. Jock had 3 second-half goals in the win over Jamaica yesterday afternoon. Jalen Jimerson, and now Lois Garlow. Garlow with it. Now Jimerson, those two exchange. She's looking for a feed inside, but couldn't connect with her sister Allie. And so it is Winter Jock. Jock going to cage. Shot. Trickles just wide. Haudenosaunee gather the rebound. Shot coming from the point. Pump fake. Now a shot. They score! Avery Duran through traffic. And Haudenosaunee have once again trimmed the deficit. It is 6-9. Well, tremendous sequence for Haudenosaunee. We'll take a look at the goal here. It's a step-down shot, no shooting space called. Avery Duran says, that's all right. Sidearm left-handed rip. But Paige Crandall, with 3 terrific saves here in the early goings, has been part of the difference. And so with 5:59 to go, the United States lead at 9-6. We will take a break here. Haudenosaunee staying with the number one team in the world. Just a 3-goal deficit with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Folks, we welcome you back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship with the United States leading it 9-6, but this has been a close contest. Look at the USA in transition. Mastriani to Lopinto on the doorstep, denied again by Paige Crandall, one of her many saves today. She's up to double digits this morning. And Haudenosaunee following up with the quick trigger. Avery Duran has the hat trick here. Now 8 goals to 5 assists in this tournament so far. Haudenosaunee have triggered a USA timeout. The United States, although leading by 3, are reeling against this very tough Haudenosaunee team. We saw this yesterday against Jamaica with every single ground ball, every single 2-on-1 that they have been faced with today. Haudenosaunee has answered the bell. For a USA team that has roared through pool play, defeated each of their opponents by large margins, 12 goals plus in each of them. They are faced with their toughest task yet to date in this Haudenosaunee team, just trying to bring this game back within 2 for the first time since the first half. USA led this contest 4-2 at the end of 15, and since then have slowly watched their lead balloon by Haudenosaunee. Opportunity now to trim the deficit back to that juncture again. It's Chloe Luther, number 2, with the ball here. Has a goal earlier today. Avery Duran has 3. Duran will work against Sydney Scales. Tries to split the defense. Instead draws the double and a takeaway. Coming up with it is Sam Forrest, the country's best defender from a season ago in NCAA. Kaylee Waters entered the game to start this second half, and now she'll take this one for a spin before finding familiar comfort in Cassidy Weeks. So Cassidy Weeks brings it ahead, and the United States back to work with Emma Lopinto. Lopinto spent 2 years at the University of Florida, just a couple of hours north of where we're playing today in Auburndale. Just finished up her tenure at Boston College this past season. Cassidy Weeks will exchange with Izzy Skane. Skane from a tight angle. Backdoor. That one is turned aside. Heads up play by Ava Tallchief. The USA corral the rebound. And now working behind the cage is Kenzie Kent. Kent will exchange with Allie Kennedy. Kennedy in her left. Behind the net for Marie McCool. McCool and Lopinto exchange. Low to high, the attack starts, and now Cassidy Weeks surveys the scene. Pick play coming here. Weeks has it checked loose, but there for the loose ball is Izzy Skane. So Cassidy Weeks will restart from the outside fan. She'll look to pass to Marie McCool here on the high point on the left side. McCool down low. Lopinto, she scores! Emma Lopinto from Marie McCool, and the United States are back up by 4. We haven't seen too much of Emma Lopinto. She entered the game here to start the second half. She was the MVP of the U20 World Championships in 2024 that saw the United States win gold. And this time she nestles on the doorstep and finishes to put the USA back up by 4. They've hit double digits with this goal coming out of the timeout. The United States have not led by more than 4 goals at any point in this game. They shut out their opponents in the second and third games of pool play in the first half. Peru and Mexico unable to score in the first 30 minutes of those contests. But now here today, Haudenosaunee still within 4. Draw control battle. Another chapter written here as the ball's still loose. A hard check, another one. The officials letting him play. Although an acrobatic effort by Haudenosaunee's Jordan Kalan, they will rule this out of bounds, and I think correctly so. The USA will restart from their own zone. A rainbow pass from Shea Baker, and now the USA back the other way in transition. Here is Emma Muchnick. Muchnick with 2 early goals to build that USA lead that they have not relinquished. Ali Mastriani in her right. Tight angle on the doorstep. Shot denied by Crandall. Kenzie Kent slams her stick as Crandall again closes the door. Ali Jimerson. This is how the Haudenosaunee have stayed in this game with the response offensively. Jalen Jimerson able to corral the bouncing pearl. Sierra Cockrell, and now activating on the other side is Winter Jock. Jock facing the tough defense of Izzy Skane. Jock gets around, shot bounces right into the cross, although we're going to see a card here. Izzy Skane looks up towards the sky as she is sent off with 1:26 to go here in the third quarter. So we will see a free position attempt opportunity from the 11-meter. It looks like it'll be Jalen Jimerson that will earn the right to take it. Conversations between the officials on what the call is going to be. Although for all intents and purposes, the most important fact is that it will be a 2-minute non-release penalty with the clock starting as soon as this free position whistle is blown. Folks, we thank you for joining us this Sunday morning from Auburndale, Florida, or whatever time it is, wherever in the world you're listening on World Lacrosse TV. This is the semifinal matchup. The winner earns a spot in the gold medal game. So Haudenosaunee will restart from behind their cage. They will be at the player advantage for the remainder of this third quarter and the first 34 seconds of the fourth. And okay, I see now the clarification. Both players received cards. So the USA and Haudenosaunee are each going to be short-handed, which makes this 5-on-5 play in the offensive zone. So a correction there. The teams will play 5-on-5 for the remainder of the third quarter. And then for the opening half minute or so of the fourth. The clock is running, and both teams seem content to just allow it to do so until they're able to get back to 5-on-5 play. So with the scoreboard on the stadium here, now trickling under 50 seconds. Again, you see the teams are okay with just letting this clock run out. You expect Haudenosaunee to probably activate with about 20 seconds on the clock. Sierra Cockrell will go sooner than that. She tests the waters, and now she's doubled up. Feed on the back door. That is Kalan. Check to the head, and not even a whistle here. And now a late whistle. So the clock stops inside of 30 seconds. There are 24 seconds on the clock. Haudenosaunee will get the restart here with Jalen Jimerson. Team trails by 4, a chance to cut into that deficit, head into the final frame with an advantageous shot here from the free position, right in the center hash of the 11-meter. Here's Jalen Jimerson. She winds, fires, and scores! beats the 5-hole of Kaylee Waters, and Jalen Jimerson has cut this deficit to 3 once again. With the clock stopped at 22 seconds to go in the third quarter, Jalen Jimerson's got one here, and Haudenosaunee will not go away. A beautiful rip, low to low, like a ice hockey wrist shot. And Jalen Jimerson's got one here. He'll bring the Haudenosaunee back within 3. Jimerson's first goal of the morning. Their 6th goal of the tournament altogether. She has been filling up the stat sheet as the USA win this draw. With 15 seconds and counting, this is Kenzie Kent. Kent feed across to Kennedy. Kennedy driving in her left, in her right, puts it just wide. The clock will stop with 7.6 seconds to go. And this will likely earn the United States I thought it would earn them a free position, but no, the officials say this will be Haudenosaunee ball, and this is the way that the third quarter will come to an end anticlimactically. And so the USA continued to lead by 3, but the Haudenosaunee have played them hard for these last 2 quarters. A 2-goal advantage in the first quarter has only increased by 1 as the USA clinging to their 3-goal lead. They have not led by more than 4 in this contest. And Haudenosaunee and Jalen Jimerson have cut this deficit back down to 3. Well, folks, we're going to step aside for just another minute or so. When we come back, the fourth quarter of action. Do the Haudenosaunee have a comeback in it to get back to the gold medal game? We'll find out after this on World Lacrosse TV. Folks, welcome back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. John Kristovich here with you on World Lacrosse TV for this semifinal matchup between the United States and Haudenosaunee. The USA lead at 10-7 as we enter the final frame, with a visit to the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon on the line. Both teams have qualified for the World Championships next summer in Tokyo, Japan. Now, what's left to be decided? The Continental Champion of Pan America. The Haudenosaunee and the USA each tallied a pair of goals in that third quarter. Jalen Jimerson's strike with just over 30 seconds to play have brought Haudenosaunee back within 3. Kaylee Waters will go back to the cage, continuing her terrific day in the Haudenosaunee net is Paige Crandall. Up to 10 saves this morning for Paige Crandall as we go back to the draw circle. The Haudenosaunee have taken the edge in the draw circle in that third quarter as well. Although Allie Kennedy is able to come up with this one, at least for the time being, now she'll start the rush the other way. An errant pass But it'll be able to be picked up by Kenzie Kent now as the USA go back to work, try to reclaim this 4-goal lead. Ali Mastriani in her left hand, now doubles back to her right. She'll give it up for Anna Brandt. Brandt in her right hand works it around the horn. USA still leading by 3. They have this cushion. Kenzie Kent and Emma Lapinto will exchange. Lapinto driving in her left, working for top side. Haudenosaunee had that covered. Team's now back to playing 6-on-6. USA grateful for that as swooping in to make the save is Izzy Skane. So Skane, Kennedy, and company will now settle and prepare. Team Canada, which will play next against Puerto Rico, is lurking in the background watching the final quarter of action as we see on the doorstep they score. It is Izzy Skane. Izzy Skane with another goal. And the officials are asking to stop the clock. As of now, this goal counts. Izzy Skane converted. And the USA back up by 4, matching again their largest lead of this contest. And it looks like a card was issued on that goal. So Haudenosaunee will be down a player, and the USA will get the clean restart here from midfield. So the clock at 13 minutes and 48 seconds. The USA now with a 4-goal lead, and will have the player advantage for the next 2 minutes. So 6-on-5, the offensive scheme now going to work. This is Kent. She goes back up to the point for Cassidy Weeks. Weeks feed inside. Lapinto behind the back. She scores! Emma Lapinto. And the United States lead again, this time by 5. Their largest lead of the game, Emma Lapinto, with a beautiful behind the back off the feed from Cassidy Weeks. No chance for Paige Crandall. The USA now up by 5 here in the fourth quarter. We saw a magnificent behind-the-back goal from Chloe Humphrey. Found its way on its SportsCenter top 10 yesterday. And now Emma Lapinto with a highlight reel goal of her own. So we head back to the draw circle. The Haudenosaunee are still playing with the player disadvantage. And now we'll need some goals in a hurry to come back into this one. The USA with a pair early in this fourth quarter. Part of the reason they've opened up their largest lead of the game at 5 goals. Sam Forrest, Sydney Scales start the attack. Now Kenzie Kent in the offensive zone. On the doorstep, Lapinto again, bar down. It did not go. And so diving to make the save is Paige Crandall. She scoops that one off of the goal line. It did not go. Lapinto hit the crossbar, and the team's now nearing full strength in the coming seconds. USA with the takeaway. It's a 2-on-0. Kenzie Kent fakes, fires, save made by Crandall. Now on the doorstep, the rebound. Kenzie Kent in front, shot coming. They score. Izzy Skane cleans it up. And the United States lead it by 6. We can watch the full sequence here. The USA with a 2-on-0. Fake. Crandall made the first save and then was left in no man's land as Kenzie Kent with the rebound, the skip pass, and then the step down. Izzy Skane picks the corner. And so it's 13-7. The team's now back at even strength. But time beginning to become a factor as the Haudenosaunee trail by 6. This is their largest deficit. 3 quick goals to open up the fourth quarter. Back in the draw circle is Sierra Cockrell. She's working against Ali Mastriani. Mastriani comes up with this one cleanly, and the United States will double back into their own zone and begin the point of attack with Sydney Scales. Scales will take it herself, crosses midfield, and now gives it up for Allie Kennedy. Kennedy looking for her second gold medal after winning one in 2022 with the United States. USA working around the perimeter. This is Kennedy from the high left point. She'll activate. Moving laterally, has a lane. Kennedy shot, save made by Crandall. And she's made a couple of highlight reel stops. That's another one with Kennedy coming right down Broadway. She's rejected. So Paige Crandall will walk this one up herself. Plenty of time to operate. This USA ride, dangerous. Lapinto unable to steal that one, and so it's Haudenosaunee moving back up the other way. Winter Jock. Jock still got it, although now she'll be pushed to the outside by Sam Forrest. And Haudenosaunee will work it around with under 10 to play here in regulation. Jock testing the perimeter. And now Avery Duran, who has 3 goals to lead this Haudenosaunee bunch. Duran looking for some real estate. It's tipped away and now scooped up by the goaltender. As Kaylee Waters starts the attack. Now the United States back on a fast break. Kenzie Kent with it. Looking for the inside. Nothing there, so she'll work it back around for Skane. In front, Kennedy shot. She scores! Allie Kennedy with another. This time, she gets the feed from Izzy Skane. And the United States flexing their offensive muscles, 4 consecutive in this fourth quarter. Kenzie Kent looked for the interior, instead went to Skane. And on the cut was Allie Kennedy. The United States continue to show off their prowess in the offensive zone. That will prompt a Haudenosaunee timeout. They trail by 7 with 8:49 to go here at Orlando Health Stadium and Lake Myrtle Sports Park. Folks, we're going to step aside for one final time when we come back the remainder of the fourth quarter. The USA with 4 straight. They're up by 7 here on World Lacrosse TV. Folks, we welcome you back to the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. We get set for the remainder of the fourth quarter, 8:49 to go. The United States with 4 consecutive to start the frame. It began with Emma Lapinto's behind-the-back beauty. That was the catalyst to start this attack for the USA. They now are up by 7, prompting a timeout from Haudenosaunee and their coaching staff, Taylor Frink and company. So we head back to the draw circle where Sierra Cockrell will need to start a run here. The winner of this contest advances to the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. The loser will head to the bronze medal game, which will also take place tomorrow. Kenzie Kent thought about going straight to cage. Instead, she'll double back behind the net and work with Corey Edmondson. Edmondson returning to the game here in this fourth quarter. Cassidy Weeks involved as well. Marie McCool for Izzy Skane and Emma Lapinto. Lapinto's pass gets by Edmondson and will prompt a ground ball battle. A collision of Americans results in Haudenosaunee ball. Sydney Scales is a non-believer in that, but it doesn't matter as Haudenosaunee will Start back the other way. Jalen Jimerson reverts back to Allison Trice, and now the point of attack begins from their own zone. So here's Trice looking to beat this United States clear. Their clear defense is among the very best in all of international lacrosse. Allie Jimerson, though, able to calmly and confidently collect it here. She'll flip it to her teammate Sierra Cockrell, who will get things started with 7:40 to go in this final quarter. Jimerson has it. She is guarded closely by Edmondson. Cockrell feeds inside. That pass goes astray. Could be a foul. And from our vantage point, I still haven't seen a decision. It looks like this could be a free position attempt. So Kaylee Waters goes back and grabs a yellow ball off of the end line, and it will be a free position opportunity from the 11-meter fan. Jalen Jimerson scored earlier from this juncture. Jimerson, shot, save made by Waters. She got just enough of it, and then it kicked back to Sam Forrest, so she'll start the other way. And now the USA in transition. Skane dives, scores! Izzy Skane just that quickly dips, dekes, dives, and pummels one past the netminder. Paige Crandall, the United States, up by 8. So quick in transition. From Sam Forrest to Cassidy Weeks all the way down to Izzy Skane, and she converts. The U.S. tear continues, and they're up by 8 with just over 6 minutes to play. So the United States seem well on their way to another gold medal game. This is their first time competing in the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship, and have looked impressive through pool play. In this semifinal, Haudenosaunee gave them a run for their superior status, but the Americans now with 5 unanswered to start this fourth quarter have built a healthy cushion. Looking to add to it now is Allie Kennedy and now Allie Mastriani. Mastriani works it back for Kenzie Kent. Emma Lapinto behind the net. Izzy Skane wants another. Goes to her right hand. There was no lane, so she won't shoot. Mastriani stays in her right. Gives it up to Kenzie Kent. Can she have topside? Mastriani's left alone. Allie Mastriani behind the cage. Still no feeder. Haudenosaunee closed that door. Under 5 minutes to play now for Allie Kennedy. Kennedy content to work this around for Kenzie Kent. Kent driving in. Shot denied by Paige Crandall. She comes up with another save. Crandall entered this fourth quarter with 10 saves, now up to 12. And she'll walk this one up with under 4.5 to play now. Haudenosaunee now in the clear situation with Winter Jock. Jock instrumental, had 3 goals in the win over Jamaica yesterday to put them in this semifinal game against the United States. Chloe Luther with 4 minutes to go now. Haudenosaunee down by 8. Continue to work through this clock. Reminder that the clock will stay running until we reach the 2-minute mark of the fourth quarter. We've got offsides here, and Haudenosaunee give it up. USA will go back the other way. Reminder, inside of 2 minutes in the fourth quarter, the clock will stop on every whistle. And the USA working on this near side with Sam Forrest. She'll enter the offensive zone. Kenzie Kent corrals it. Now Emma Lapinto and the United States will look to burn off the rest of this clock and punch their ticket to the gold medal game. Kenzie Kent wants another, drives in, pass across, shot, they score! Emma Lapinto is Superman! And the United States up by 9 on a terrific effort. Look at Kenzie Kent. Puts this where Emma Lapinto isn't, and then suddenly she flies into the frame, puts it in the back of the net, and the Americans, in style, are up by 9. Simply dazzling stuff from the United States offense. Emma Lapinto, a standout at Boston College. The last several years, she was the MVP of the U20 World's gold medal winning team in 2024. And now a pair of goals today. This one is pretty. So the United States, dominant here in this fourth quarter, are going to make this game seem a lot less closer than it really was. A 6-goal streak here in the fourth quarter have made this a 9-goal deficit, insurmountable at this point. USA under 2 minutes away from heading to the gold medal game. Emma Lapinto looking for a feed. Now she'll dive in and scores! Emma Lapinto in tight. And now the Americans up by 10. It's 17-7. And Emma Lapinto continues to impress. You get another look at the goal here. Just works so well in tight. Looks for the feed, didn't have it. One quick dip. And finds her way into the edge of the goal circle. Puts it past the netminder, Crandall. And so Lapinto now up to 4 goals in this semifinal contest. Haudenosaunee tacking on a yellow card, so the United States will be at the player advantage for the rest of this contest. A 7-0 fourth quarter make this a 10-goal game. Clock stops here with 1:27 to go. So the United States are going to head to the gold medal game tomorrow with the Pan America Continental Championship on the line. We invite you to stick around for our coverage of the remaining games today. It'll be Canada and Puerto Rico directly following this one. Kenzie Kent with a free position attempt from the 11-meter fan. Switches to a right, feet in front. Lapinto scores. She's got 5. Emma Lapinto has broken through in the second half. Her 5th goal serves as another exclamation point on this semifinal victory. And the clock will stop with 1:25 to go. Haudenosaunee will still have more to play for here. They will head to the bronze medal game tomorrow. They will play the loser of the Canada-Puerto Rico matchup. The Americans looking for the gold medal. They will play tomorrow afternoon as the schedule stands now. Final 1:25 to go here between the United States and Haudenosaunee. Sierra Cockrell, who played a terrific game and kept this very close between the first 3 quarters, making things difficult on the draw circle. The United States able to keep it in for the time being, but Haudenosaunee come up with it. An acrobatic effort by Emma Muchnick. And now taken away by Corey Edmondson. She'll get swiped at. Edmondson going to goal. Feed. That one is errant and goes to nobody in particular, so Sarah Cockrell picks it up as we had 1 minute to go here in the fourth quarter. Paige Crandall will hold possession as the clock restarts. Delivers a pass across the midfield, and now Haudenosaunee looking for one more run here. It is Winter Jock. She gains the zone with just under 40 seconds to play. The restart will come here from Lois Garlow. She backpedals. And Haudenosaunee looking for one final push here in the final 30 seconds of the semifinal matchup. A thrilling affair until the United States broke through in this fourth quarter. They lead it now by 11. They've outscored Haudenosaunee 8-0 in this frame. Mia Mitchell's pass to the interior. One more shot coming here. Pump fake from Luther. Shot, they score! And so Winter Jock gets on the board. The University of Notre Dame athlete has Haudenosaunee back within 10. And a fitting end. It was a strong-spirited battle of lacrosse here today for Haudenosaunee, and I can't wait to see what they bring in the bronze medal game and then eventually in the World Championships. They showed that they can hang with the very best of them. For the first 3 quarters of this game, the lead was never more than 4, and for the majority of the contest, just 2 or 3 goals separated these teams. So Haudenosaunee and the USA back to the draw circle for the final time with 11 seconds to go. The draw is played up and won cleanly by Haudenosaunee as the time will tick away. One final shot won't be off of the cross for Haudenosaunee, and so that's the way that this game will end. The United States with a dominant fourth quarter. They outscore Haudenosaunee 8-1, and that propels them to a 10-goal victory in this semifinal matchup. The United States 18, Haudenosaunee 8. The USA are headed to the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. They will face Canada or Puerto Rico. That matchup coming up next on World Lacrosse TV. Haudenosaunee will play the loser of that matchup in the bronze medal game tomorrow morning. Folks, that will do it for our coverage here of this semifinal contest. Again, we ask that you stick around as we get set for our second semifinal. It'll be Canada and Puerto Rico. The winner gets to face United States in the gold medal game. The loser will take on Haudenosaunee. This semifinal wraps up, and what a game that we saw. So for one final time, the United States are victorious, 18-8. They'll be in the gold medal game tomorrow afternoon. Haudenosaunee sees their gold medal bid end here, but they will fight for the bronze tomorrow in what will be a spirited battle between either Canada or Puerto Rico and the Haudenosaunee Nationals. Folks, thanks for joining us so far this morning on World Lacrosse TV. I'm John Kristovich, and on behalf of our entire production staff, we say thank you for joining us for the Pan American Women's Lacrosse Championship. Canada and Puerto Rico next. The bronze and gold medal games tomorrow. Folks, stick around. We'll see you soon on World Lacrosse TV.